Hello and welcome to what is actually episode 1 of Spaceman Days 2021. I actually only did 3 episodes last year, which I can't believe. So I suppose I should start with episode 1 2021. Welcome. See you in a bit. So I've been gone for quite some time now. I've just been so busy with the day-to-day job, running Spaceman, doing all the creative work that I do, branding, logo design, photography. So I haven't had a chance to do lots of YouTube stuff, but I thought I'd start 2021 off with doing a little video on photo editing, and not necessarily doing a run through of a whole edit, but actually more the thought process behind the edit and why I make choices throughout an edit to take it from the standard raw shot to the final article that I would normally post on Instagram. So with that in mind, I'm going to delve into my laptop here and show you some images and some Photoshop work and the choices I made in this particular shot. So I should say that this actually is a shot that was sent to me by one of my followers, who I also follow back actually on Instagram, a photographer called Mido Almatari. Now I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, probably have, could be Mido Almatari. So what I have here is the before and after shots set up, and I've also got the some of the Photoshop files so you can see the kind of processes that I go through. So to start off with, here is the shot that I was sent. It's a great shot in itself, lovely detail of a snake. Colour, I can already see the colour is going to be great to use the green and enhance the green, and I'm also going to look at highlighting certain parts of the snake to really make it stand out. One of the main things that I tend to do with my, particularly with the animal portraits, wildlife portraits that I do, is focusing on the eye. I think with them, one of the main things to get right, to give it personality, is actually focus that eye and make it stand out. It's a fine balance, because sometimes you can make the eye really stand out way too much and it looks fake or cartoonish. So it's a subtle skill to learn, but I think it's really important. So if I come out of that, I'll also show you the final after shot. So you can see here again, I've done quite a lot of work on the eye to make it pop. I've done a lot of dodging and burning, which is what I'll talk about in a minute. And I've added some elements, but the key thing is, you'll see, is I've changed the angle of the shot, and I've turned it from a landscape to a portrait shot, which means a certain amount of Photoshop work is needed, because there's certain elements that don't exist when you turn it from a landscape to a portrait. So the first thing you've got to do, obviously, is edit the shot to a degree, and I've already done a good amount of this in Lightroom, enhancing certain aspects of it, and you can see that on the screen here now. But it's still in the landscape format, and for Instagram particularly, I think portrait images stand out more and give you more potential to get likes and follows and so on, engagement in general. So in order to do this, I've just added a little bit extra here. I've got a little filter overlay that I tend to do, that I've created, which adds a sort of autumnal, warmer feel to some of the pictures. Then I've added a bit of a light source coming from the top left corner, which I've already enhanced in Lightroom in the top left and darkened down the bottom right, but I've also added this light source, that these sort of sun rays coming through the forest canopy, if you like, and they're hitting the snake's head. But initially they did actually go all the way across, so I've just deleted those and erase those from the bottom of the picture and the bottom right of the picture, so they only hit the snake and the highlighted areas of the shot. Moving on, that pretty much finished the edit of the actual shot itself, but as I said, I wanted to get it into portrait, and so what I've got here is I've had to turn the angle itself, and of course that's fine, I've got the angle that I want. I've still got enough of the picture to see the snake and the foreground of the snake's body and the background of the snake's head. But of course I've got 3 areas here that are now white, so I've got to fill those in. So what I've got here is I've used various different tools, the clone stamping tool, copying, pasting certain areas of it, and actually physically just painting in. certain areas of it as well. So you'll see now I've got dark areas at the bottom, and I've matched the top right hand corner, so it matches the blurred out bokeh background of the jungle, which works really nicely. But I've still got a bit to do because I don't like the fact that there's too much black in the shot here. Down the bottom, it draws your eye a little bit away from the nice aspect of the snake itself. So what I then did is added in, essentially copied and pasted, changed the angle slightly, enlarged the leaf that is already there, and now you can see that is in the foreground as well. And again, it just means that there's less black to worry about in the shot. And these are the sort of layers here you can see that I've been working on to add here and there to the shot to see what I can end up with. And as you can see in the final shot on here, you can see the final elements that I've added in. So here you've got this area which I added, which was white before. I've added a third leaf in here just to give some balance so that the black areas aren't so prominent, and then added in a certain amount of saturation. As I say, dodge and burn is really important in this shot as well. So the dodge and burn, if you look into this, you can see I've made the mouth section darker so that his grin, as it were, is actually more prominent and shows up the whole shape of the mouth and the head more. I've then dodged and burned here, so I've darkened the shaded shadow areas around his eye and all the way around his eyeball here as well. I've done the same here and here. And when you do a burn, the burn adds depth. The dodge obviously lightens, the burn darkens, essentially. And the light and the dark, the more you do that, the more contrast you have in those areas, the more sort of 3D the edit looks. And I do this on bird photography. I've done it with foxes and squirrels, and of course in this snake image as well. Really works. Then the main thing here is the eye. Like I said before, you can see here, if I go back to the before, we've got quite a dark eye. And a lot of animals, when you take pictures, their eyes are quite dark. You often see that, particularly in bird photography. But when you use dodge and burn tools and you increase exposure and so on, you actually find that there's a lot of colour in there just waiting to come out. And you can see from there to there, there's quite a lot of additional colour available here, particularly in this area. There's more green here. These areas I've lightened, and the top areas where you've got some reflection there, I've also lightened and brightened up. So the overall shot, if I come back out and show you the befores and afters again, you can see the big differences in the two. So you can see here that, as I said, in the mouth, it's quite a lot lighter in this shot. I've burnt that down, that shadowed area down a lot more. The eye, as I said, is one of the main things. And then these areas around here I've made more defined and added that 3D effect. And that is the after shot, once again, so you can see it. And that's my sort of decision making on that particular shot. And as a rule, that's the kind of decisions I make as I go along. I'm all about the edit. And actually I'm currently running an editing competition on my Instagram page, and I'll show you a little slide for that now, and the link will be below so you can go and take a look at that and maybe enter yourself. And that's it. So I'm glad to be back for this little video, nothing too major, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.